What happens when everyone says that you're too small, too weak, and walking into a death trap? November 13th, 2010, Cowboys Stadium, Manny Pacquiao faced Antonio Margarito, a 6-foot destroyer who outweighed him by 20 pounds. The size difference made David versus Goliath kind of look like a fair fight. Everyone said that this was the night Pacquiao's dream would die. What happened inside those ropes broke every rule in boxing and created the most shocking beatdown that still has experts scratching their heads. Why did every expert think Pacquiao was about to get destroyed? Antonio Margarito stood across the ring like a refrigerator with anger issues. 6 feet tall with arms that reached forever. This was a 3-time world champion who had broken elite fighters into pieces. The Mexican had a scary past that made him even more dangerous. He got banned for a whole year for putting hard stuff in his gloves that made them harder than concrete. Imagine getting punched by someone wearing brass knuckles disguised as boxing gloves. That was Margarito's reputation walking into this fight. His fighting style was pure nightmare fuel designed to break smaller men. He threw over 100 punches every single round, walking through pain like a zombie that felt nothing. His last big fight against Shane Mosley had been a brutal war where he absorbed enough punishment to kill a normal person, but kept moving forward like nothing happened. The size difference was truly scary to look at. Margarito naturally walked around 160 pounds, while Manny Pacquiao barely touched 150 on fight night. The reach advantage was even worse. Margarito's arms stretched 73 inches compared to Pacquiao's 67 inches. Meanwhile, Pacquiao started his career weighing less than most people's gym bag. The math was simple and brutal. Big destroys small. Power beats speed. 50,000 people expected to watch the little guy get crushed. But what happened when that opening bell rang made everybody's jaw drop? The bell sounded and Pacquiao did something crazy that shocked everyone in the building. No dancing around like he was playing freeze tag, no careful feeling out like two cats circling each other. He walked straight at the giant like he was collecting a debt that was long overdue. The first exchange happened so fast, it looked like someone hit the fast forward button on the TV remote. And Pacquiao threw a combo that landed quicker than bad news travels through a small town. Margarito's head snapped back 3 times before his brain could process what had hit him. The Mexican fired back with a right hand that sent bigger men to dreamland faster than a bedtime story. This was the punch that was supposed to end the fight before it really started, but something magical happened that defied every law of physics and boxing logic. Pacquiao moved his head just enough to make Margarito punch air, then threw a left hook that caught the giant right on the button. The impact sounded like a baseball bat hitting a watermelon. Margarito stumbled backward with eyes wide, like someone told him Santa wasn't real. The crowd erupted because they realized this wasn't going to be the one-sided beating everyone predicted. The tornado had never felt hand speed like this, and his face showed pure shock. Could speed really beat raw power that looked superhuman? Round 2 turned into a video game where someone cheated and gave one player super speed. Margarito tried his jab to keep distance, but Pacquiao was already inside throwing bombs. Every time the Mexican threw one slow punch, Pacquiao threw back 4 lightning shots. This was like watching someone fight angry bees with a fly swatter while blindfolded. Margarito connected with a body shot that should have folded Pacquiao like a cheap chair. Instead, the Filipino took it and fired back with an uppercut that made the giant's teeth click together so hard, his dentist felt it. Round 3 became speed versus power. Pacquiao would dart in like a hummingbird, land perfect combos, and be gone before Margarito could counter. And by round 3, first signs of damage appeared on Margarito's face, and the crowd knew something special was happening. What was happening that nobody expected to see? Round 4 opened with Pacquiao doing something that made fans question reality. He stood directly in front of Margarito and started trading punches with a man who could use him as a dumbbell. A cut then opened above the Mexican's right eye as a sharp left hook found its mark. Blood began trickling down his face like red rain. The real damage came from Pacquiao's bodywork that was more brutal than a tax audit. Sharp uppercuts to gut-doubled Margarito over, only for him to walk into more punishment. Margarito kept pressing forward like a zombie, but now he was walking into a buzzsaw operated by someone who had lost his mind. The tornado was bleeding, and the storm was getting warmed up. Then came the moment that should have ended Pacquiao's night. Round 6 exploded with the most vicious exchange that made everyone hold their breath. Margarito finally landed the shot everyone waited for. A crushing hook to Pacquiao's ribs that echoed through the stadium like a gunshot. The Filipino doubled over and stumbled into the ropes, gasping like a fish out of water. This was it. Size was about to win. Physics was about to return. But Pacquiao came off those ropes like a man who just got insulted. He threw a combo so violent, it made hardened fans cover their eyes. Left hook to the body made Margarito grunt like he got hit by a truck. Right uppercut to the chin snapped his head back so hard his ancestors felt it. Left straight to the nose sent blood flying like abstract art. Margarito's legs turned to jelly as blood poured from his face. Both fighters were covered in Margarito's blood, and everyone knew they witnessed something unforgettable. How much punishment can one face absorb before something breaks? Rounds 7 through 10 became a step-by-step beating that was both amazing and scary to watch. Margarito's right eye swelled up like a balloon at a nightmare birthday party. Cuts opened on both cheeks as Pacquiao's punches found their target with perfect timing. Round 7 started with Margarito trying to use his jab to stay away, but Pacquiao was not having it. The Filipino stepped inside and threw combos that landed with perfect aim on the same hurt spots over and over again. Round 8 was pure art, painted with violence that made tough boxing fans gasp. Pacquiao trapped Margarito on the ropes and threw a 12-punch combo that sounded like machine gun fire echoing through Cowboys Stadium. Every shot landed clean and perfect. The Mexican's head snapped left, right, left again as blood flew with each hit. Round 9 brought more brutal punishment that was hard to watch. Margarito was now throwing wild shots at shadows while Pacquiao picked him apart like a doctor wearing boxing gloves. Blood streamed down his face like a waterfall, and his right eye was closing faster than a store during a riot. The corner tried hard to stop the bleeding between rounds, but it was like trying to stop a broken dam with a band-aid. By round 10, Margarito was fighting completely blind in one eye, looking like a horror movie warrior. What happened next shocked everyone in the arena. Round 11 opened with Margarito stumbling out like a drunk man trying to find his keys. His face was such a mess, he looked like a different person. Then, something incredible happened that nobody saw coming. Pacquiao looked at the referee, Tony Weeks, and raised both his gloves high, asking him to stop the fight. Even while making history, he cared about his opponent's safety more than his own glory. The crowd then went silent, stunned by this rare sportsmanship. Here was a man who could taste immortality, asking the ref to save his opponent. But Weeks shook his head and let it continue. Margarito kept stumbling forward with a warrior's heart, half blind but still throwing punches. So, Pacquiao ended it with controlled violence. The final bell rang on one of the most one-sided beatings in championship history. Just how complete was this domination? The scorecards told a crazy story. Judge Jurgen Langos scored it 120 to 108, giving Margarito 0 rounds. Judge Glenn Rick Crocker had it at 118 to 110. Judge Oren Schellenberger saw it at 119 to 109. Total domination. The punch stats were mind-blowing. Pacquiao landed 474 punches compared to Margarito's 229. Almost half of everything he threw connected. Power punches, 236 to 138. Margarito was rushed to Parkland Memorial Hospital with a broken eye bone needing surgery. Doctors said if the fight continued, he could have lost his sight forever. Meanwhile, Pacquiao accomplished something that will never be done again in boxing history. That night at Cowboys Stadium, a man who started at 105 pounds proved heart beats size. Manny Pacquiao became the first and only 8-division world champion. He wasn't supposed to win. Subscribe to Knockout Kings Elite for more shocking upsets.